Fucking boo.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Fucking Boo, Bombing Stories with Jay Hollingsworth. I am Big Irish Jay Hollingsworth, and today my guest is a good buddy of mine that he has a couple specials on Amazon. He's got Double Down, his own special, and then he has like a what would you call it, a group special, the Irish Comedy Tour. My good buddy Derek Richards, everybody.
What's happening? How are you?
Everybody? I'm fucking great. I
can hear in my head people screaming in the background.
Oh, dude, and squirting. All right, so
yes, they always do that.
Mainly guys, but that's okay. So
no judgment.
Yeah, and you're at home here in Vegas right now.
I am home here in Las Vegas, enjoying a beautiful, nice, sunny day, as I'm sure you are in Las Vegas as well.
Oh, yeah, dude, and the weather's getting great now.
By the way, big props to your costume, to your viewership and listenership that did not partake in your Halloween festivities or were not aware of it. But Jay Hollingsworth was Mike Myers as Michael Myers.
Yeah, I always try, and my goal every year on Halloween is what is the cheapest outfit I can do. One year I just bought a roll of paper towels and I put on a plaid shirt and I went as Bounty, the fucking lumberjack on Bounty's thing. I just want a cheap costume, so I just bought a wig and some teeth.
I'm the same way. I can't commit to any kind of I respect people that go all out for Halloween, the ones that go nuts and really do the makeup and the elaborate outfits, but I'm like, that's just not me. I mean, yeah. Give me an eye patch that I can get at Halloween City or whatever, or Spirit Halloween.
Exactly.
Whatever former Circuit City location is now Spirit Halloween.
Exactly. You get it. You get it.
And I'm a pirate. Done. Easy.
Yeah. Okay. So your bombing story, which by the way, and I think I might have told it on the Hollings Worthless program with my buddies, but I had a fucking bombing story with you, our 2 p.m. show at the Orleans. But anyways, what is your bombing story, Derek? Give it to us.
I was in Columbus, Ohio, working at the Funny Bone packed house. And at the time, I was living in Detroit, where I'm from. And I had made the comment that I was, I'm from Detroit, blah, blah, blah. And the obvious rivalry / hatred that Ohio has for anything Michigan is pretty intense. And so they had just gotten their NHL franchise, the Columbus Blue Jackets. I had them for a couple of years, I guess. I'm trying to remember the exact time frame. But what happened was, I don't know if you recall this. I mean, you're a big sports fan. In Columbus, there was a puck that flew out of the rink and hit like a 12-year-old girl.
Oh, God. All right, go on.
And she died. And so now, like the arenas now, because of that, the nets go up a lot higher on the perimeter. So that's all changed because of what happened to her. The only reason this is germane to the story is because I'm up on stage. I'm from Detroit. The show's going great. And I was the middle act on the show. And I mentioned I'm from Detroit. And then somebody in the back of the room goes, "Red Wings suck." And now all of a sudden, the crowd that was on my side and having fun is now not on my side. They're like, "Oh, well, this guy's clearly from hell.
Right.
So we should now not like him." And so now people start chirping around the room. There's a couple hundred people in there. And it's like, "Oh, boo, Red Wings suck." And so I stop for a second and I go, maybe you guys would score more goals if you painted a 12-year-old girl in the back of your net. Oh, my God. To tell you that the air escaped the room. Because this happened probably, I don't know, it was maybe within 4 or 5 months. I mean, it was it was a big deal. It's still a big deal. I told the story now, and I can see the look on your face, the cringe-worthy look that you have. And let me just say one thing too for like the listeners that aren't comics, which is probably a majority of them. As a comic, so when you're on stage and you're in the middle of your set or whatever, and then a heckler throws something out,
in our head, like, I mean, we were talking about this on another podcast about as a comic, like you doing a clean set. It was with Billy O'Connor. We were talking about his bombing set. He had to be clean. And we were talking about how, and he's not a clean comic. So we're saying as a comic, your mouth is working and saying words, but your mind is like 3 or 4 sentences ahead going, okay, when I tell this joke, usually here I have a swear word. I need to alter that. I need to adjust this, you know, and you're can I say sex, or do they want, when they say clean, you know, you're going through a 1,000 things are going through your head at once. So when you're in the middle of your set and a heckler throws something out, you have a split second to respond, and you have to respond. You're taking in what they said, you process it. Now your brain is searching like the internet. Okay, what can I retort with that? What's related to what they said? Okay, he said Red Wings, that's hockey. Now I'm thinking about hockey. What's hockey related to where we're at? And this news article, I remember this. How can I make it funny? And then you throw it out.
Exactly. And I mean, there's a great book for people that are, you know, viewership, listenership, the Steve Martin book, where he talks about that specifically in terms of just being able to, it's hard to be in the moment when you're on stage because you're always thinking the next joke or two ahead and how you can tie it in with what's going on here. But so my head immediately defaulted to and I mean, I'm a huge Michigan fan, so I hate everything about Columbus, Ohio. I hate the Buckeyes. I literally, when Ohio State lost to Oregon in the beginning of the season, that was my porn for about a week and a half. I mean, I can't. My dick looked up at me and said, "Stop, stop playing this. Stop playing the last 10 seconds of the Ohio State Oregon game." So
right.
So I hate everything about Columbus. And so, but the problem is, I mean, the club is fantastic. Up until that time when I said, you know, hey, if you guys would score more goals if you painted a 12-year-old girl in the back of your net. The room, like I said, the air went out. And when I tell you there was a thunderous boo, thunder, Jay, thunder. I mean, it was horrific. And I still had about 10 more minutes.
I was just going to ask you how far into your set, how much time did you have left? So you said you were middle, and so you're about 2/3 through your set or halfway.
Yeah, about 15. Yeah, I'm doing like 25 to 30 minutes at the time. So I was probably about 15 minutes in, had about 10, 12 minutes to go. And I'd like to say that, you know, like Morgan Freeman talking in Shawshank, you know, when he was talking about Andy Dufresne, he goes, "I'd like to think that the sisters took it easy on Andy." No, it was raped in cell block D for the next 10 minutes. It was, I mean, I could have given them all season tickets for the Buckeyes, and they could have cared less. And so I come off stage. And the manager of the club walks over. He goes, "Well, that was a gutsy move." And I already had a good relationship with the guy, so that was fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, not my best effort. And he goes, you want somebody to walk you to your car? I'm like, nah, I'm good. But thank God. I mean, there was the headliner went up after me, and everything ended up being fine, you know, for the rest of the show. But you know, I can't recall specifically how my merchandise sales went that night. I'm thinking not real strong.
Yeah. I wish your merch was just pucks. Jesus.
Pucks with a little bit of blood on it.
Oh my God. Do you remember who the headliner was?
No, I don't, off the top of my head.
And dude, that's funny. What did the manager said? What to you? That was an interesting decision.
He goes, "That was a gutsy call."
Oh, gutsy call. Yeah. Now, when they say, so you finish your set, you know, hey, I've been Derek Richards. Good night, everybody. What was it? Just did they even clap, or was it just silent, or how did they? Was it just that golf clap?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it was like a.
Oh fuck!
It was. There were a few people that were clapping because, I mean, just in numbers. I mean, you got 200 people. I mean, you know, sure, 195 hate my guts, but you know, 5 enjoyed the twisted darkness of that.
Oh,
But yeah, it was that was a rough one. That was one line that ruined it.
And up until that point, you were doing great.
Up until that point, everything was fine. Yeah, I had a great time. I always have had fun at that club, and up until that point, everything was puppies and rainbows. And then all of a sudden, done.
At the end of when you were trying to sell merch, did anybody come up to you and be like, "Hey, I thought it was hilarious"?
I don't recall people coming up and saying that. It was more one of those things where people came up and they were people have quick memories, which was nice. I mean, I'm just thankful that there wasn't a relative of the girl in the crowd.
Oh, dude.
Which easily could have happened. I mean, Columbus, Ohio it's a big city, but it's not that big of a city. Somebody could have known, could have been a friend of the family, could have been anybody.
Dude, that's
my buddy didn't even cross my mind at the time.
Yeah, no shit, dude. My buddy Manny, who's going to do the show and tell his story. He used to, I think he still does, but he had a joke about Amanda Knox. Gets off stage, her sister was in the audience and comes up to him and then just starts going off on him.
Amanda Knox, remind me.
That's the chick that was over in Italy, and she was accused of murdering her friend, and then she was like, she was in jail for a while, got off. And I mean, I actually heard her interviewed on Rogan's podcast, and it sounds like
Right.
she had nothing to do with it ever, but like they just were trying to railroad her. But
Right.
But my buddy Manny did an Amanda Knox joke, and her sister was in the audience. So,
what are the odds?
Yeah, dude. Now, what would you say from this? What would you have done? I can imagine what you would have done different, but I was going to say, what would you have done different, and or what did you learn from this bombing?
Well, I learned some things you can't make fun of. I think I don't. I think, what did I take away from the experience? I think just use your head a little bit more. I mean, when you want to go, don't use don't use an AR-15 to take out a pigeon.
Yeah, that's interesting. And you said, what did you say at the beginning of that? Not everything is funny. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I go, not everything is as funny as you like to think it would be. I mean, it was, I thought it was hilarious. And I tell that to comedians, and the reaction, like the one you had on your face is the reaction that it gets. You'd like to think that you can do whatever you want in a comedy club, but I think in that situation, it was still way too fresh in their heads. And the NHL was just making the regulation changes as far as the netting for the rest of the season. So it was like I said, it was an error in judgment. And I think, like I said, in hindsight, what would I have done differently?
Here, we'll do it again. We'll do it again. You can take a second. So I'm the heckler, and I yell out,
all right, okay.
Fucking Red Wings suck.
Yeah, I could, you could default to something hacky like, they suck, not as good as your grandma did at your birthday party when I had my dick in her mouth in the bathroom. I mean, you could, that would have gotten less of a visceral response.
Right.
As heinous of a comment as that would have gotten less of a vile reaction from the audience. And it would have just pissed off the actual heckler. So what I should have done in hindsight is target on that person specifically, and perhaps not bring the whole city and an innocent 12-year-old girl's death into the party. That's where I screwed up, Jay.
I mean, that's what people don't understand. I mean, everything's in the moment. I just I had a drunk chick. I was in Arizona at Stir Crazy, and this chick, I was doing a joke about self-deprecating thing where I was saying something like, I don't want to date a 21-year-old. And I was like, not that a 21-year-old wants to talk to me. Right. And this chick who was hammered, she said, you could never get a 21-year-old or something like that. And I was like, I go, what? And then she's dead silent. And I was like, oh, now you don't want to say nothing. So then she like gets up and she's saying some shit drunk. Right. But she's standing up. I was like, why are you standing up? And so somehow it gets into where she keeps saying, she goes, I pay a lot of money, make me laugh. And I'm having a great set. Like the whole room is has been, I mean, I hate to be the guy like, oh, I'm crushing, but I'm having a fucking good set, right?
Right.
So she stands up, she says some shit. She's like, I paid good money, make us laugh. I go, I think everybody's been laughing. Everybody's like, yeah. So she sits back down, and I start to try and tell this joke again. She says something again. I fucking start going in on her again. And she stands up. Then security comes over, and I go, I think she's good. You guys can leave. So then she sits down. I try and start the story again, says something again, stands up. And at one point I was like, I called her a Karen, and she goes, my name's not Karen. I go, no, but I'm sure it starts with a K sound.
Ooh, nice.
But being the audience, loved it. And then she
sure.
She actually, her husband, I think, took her out, and her husband was like, I don't know what happened. And then as she was leaving, I had the audience do the nah, 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 nah. But it's like, it's, and that response, it was one of those things where, like, for the listeners as a comic, like, this shit's all improv. It's all in the moment. So, you have a millisecond of it coming into your mind. Yeah, that's good. That's also funny. Say it. And then you might be already just finishing the last line of this retort. And then your brain's like, wait, hold on. Maybe we shouldn't do this. And you're like, it's already out there, man. I'm fucked. It's already gone. But that one, I was like, all right, that was pretty good one. I was pretty proud of that one. But like with the little girl thing, you're like, it's hockey related. It's specific to their city. And you're like, this is a good little fucking jab back. But then after you put out there, you're like, oh, fuck, it's a little girl, though. I probably shouldn't have said it.
Yeah, if it would have been an old guy or something, they probably would have been a little more forgiving. Probably not. But also, too, I think your reaction to how somebody comes at you in the crowd is based on how your day is going as a comedian. Because if you go on stage, and we've all been there, where if you're you just had a shitty day, and you go up on stage, and you're like, this is my break. This is my release. This is when I can go up here and have fun, relax, and enjoy myself. So no matter how lousy my day was, I can go ahead and try to make it better by being up here on stage and making these people laugh. And then when somebody comes in and tries to suck that little bit of joy out of my day, this one, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, hour chunk of my day that's going to be my release, and you're fucking it up. Now, all of a sudden, your fight with your significant other comes rolling in the back of your head. The fact that you got, you didn't get booked on a gig. Something happened right before you came on stage. Your car got broken into, and now all of a sudden, all that bad stuff comes racing to the front of your head. And so if you're in kind of a salty mood when you get on stage and somebody wants to be a douchebag, they are the receiver of that angst.
Yes, they and the whole audience.
And the whole audience, exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
so, fuck. I mean, you can, there's times, I was on stage and somebody had heckled, they were just being super obnoxious and drunk. And it was over at the D Casino here in Vegas when they used to have a showroom upstairs, and they did a late show there. And you would just get some of these just dregs of Fremont Street that would come crawling into this place. Just completely. And any Vegas showroom can have someone who's hammered, but that area seemed to lend itself to that so much more. And there was somebody that came in there. There was a couple girls, and there was like one guy, and they were just super, super, super obnoxious. And security was a little late in getting there to kind of get rid of them. And they just wouldn't shut up the whole time, and it was ruining the show for everybody. About 100 people in the room, and they were just when it's just that mix of OxyContin and flavored vodka that just turns people into just these creatures. And so as she's getting thrown out, I can't. I pay, like you said, I pay good money to be. And I went, you know what? I hope you fall down the escalator, and at the base of the escalator, I hope every step hits your snatch and just leaves you a bloody mess. And I hope somebody takes you out behind the dumpster at the Four Queens and just drags your body into the seafood buffet tank of grease. It was just, and I got done. remember who was backstage, and they went, well, that was a bit much.
Yeah, dude. We'll close off with this. Doug Benson, who I used to open for years ago, he tells this story on stage. It's pretty funny, where he said that after a show he was doing like a Q&A, you know, ask questions or whatever, anything you guys want, and so people would throw out, you know, like, what's your favorite weed, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden somebody goes, you're gay, and he goes, oh, I'm gay? And he says he snapped. He's like, you're gay. He's like, you know how I know you're gay? Because you were sucking my dick in the back. Like, just goes extreme, right? At the end, he's doing a meet and greet, and some guy comes up and goes, your day. How was your day?
Oh, no.
So he misheard him. I thought he said you're gay, but it was your day. How was your day?
Wow.
Oh, fuck. First of all, Derek, thank you for doing this. Derek is here in Vegas, and he travels all over. What your website's here on your name, DerekRichards.com. And what do you have coming up? This will probably come out in the next couple of weeks.
I'm actually going to be, I'm working a couple cruise ships coming up here, and then I'll be down in Tampa in Wesley Chapel, Florida at Side Splitters Comedy Club, December 9, 10, and 11. And then back here in Vegas at the Hard Rock Cafe on the Strip on New Year's Eve with Kathleen Dunbar and Stephen Roberts. So it's going to be a good time. But yeah, a lot of pick up some cruise ship work, which is nice. Good to see some stuff starting to come back that way and get some level of normalcy back here. But yeah, my website, DerekRichards.com. My album is Double Down. You can get it on the off of my website. And of course, my podcast that I had you on,
yes,
Drink with Derek, is available on newtakes.tv. You can also go to my website and click on it, and it can take you right to all the previous episodes on YouTube.
Well, Derek, thank you for doing this. You're the best. And for the listeners, until next time, bon voyage.
Fucking boo.